I'm Cindy Kelly, Atomic Heritage Foundation. It is Saturday, February 4th, 2017. We're in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and this is Frances Quintana, and we are delighted to have her tell us her stories of life in the Manhattan Project. And we want to start by asking her to say and then spell her name. Can you tell us your name and spell it?
Frances Gomez. I used to be Gomez then, so
Okay.
I used Gomez Quintana.
Okay, and can you spell those names so we make sure that the record is correct?
Okay, my first name too? Frances, okay, Frances Gomez. That's my last name. Quintana, Quintana.
Great, thank you. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us where and when you were born?
October 28th, 1921, in El Rancho, New Mexico,
Fantastic.
Santa Fe County.
And tell us about where is this community located? Where in New Mexico is your birthplace?
It's in Santa Fe County, and it's called El Rancho. It used to be nothing but farms, but now it's big.
So did your family have a farm?
Oh yes, they had a big farm.
What did you grow on your farm?
All kinds of vegetables, everything. Corn and more so alfalfa for the horses.
And horses too? So did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I'm the oldest of 7. 2 of my brothers died when they were infants, to be small. And then it comes Lydia, Viola, Pete, Flora, and Gilbert, and Gustavo.
Wonderful, wonderful. And did you work in the on the ranch, in the vegetable garden? Did you help your parents?
Oh yes, I did a lot of babysitting and also in the farm. And then my grandfather used to own a big farming place in Los Alamos. It would be, it would be south of Los Alamos from there. Acres and acres and acres. And my aunt and I used to do all the cooking for all those people.
Wow. So was this a homesteading place? Is this something that he had acquired back in 1860s or 70s?
Yeah, that's what he was.
Yeah. Was it a place that he had year-round, or was it just for the...
Just in the spring and summer. And in the wintertime, they had their cattle there. They had a bunch of cattle. It was acres and acres and acres. It was done on one side, and you couldn't even see the other side.
Oh, my. So did you have fun up there? Did you enjoy?
Yes, we were cooks. My aunt and I did the cooking, and we had a lot of Indian people from Pueblo, San Alfonso, helping in the farm, plus my uncles and cousins.
So you, I guess you lived very close to the San Ildefonso Pueblo.
Yes, 1 mile.
Huh.
We used to walk to church every Sunday.
Okay. Did you, where did you go to school?
I went to school in the rural school in El Rancho, small school.
Was it mainly people from your community, or did you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. And were you able to go through what grade did you go to school?
7th.
7th? Yeah. And
then my mother took sick. She had a nervous breakdown, and I had to quit school and take care of my sisters. my brothers.
Yeah. So you were a very responsible young woman, the age of 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was.
So that experience, though, babysitting your sisters served you well.
That's why I took such good care of her.
Right. Well, tell us what happened when the war came along. You must have been about 20 years old when the government took over Los Alamos.
Oh, well, we had to evacuate because the Los Alamos was taken over. We couldn't get our belongings that we had there or anything. They didn't let us. The wagons and buggies and everything that they had, the tools, some of the tools, machines, they couldn't get out.
Is that right? So these were things you were using in your homestead farm? You had to leave the tools and the fencing and...
Dishes and everything, the food.
Really?
They didn't let us take anything, just our clothes.
What did they do with the building? If you had a cabin or a house?
Well, as I understand, the building is still standing up. It was a log cabin, great big log cabin, and then they had a dormitory to the south for the Indian people.
Oh. Wow. Have you seen it? Has some of your family members seen the cabin lately?
No, they won't let us. Well, at first we were very happy that happened because we didn't have to work so hard on the farm. I know my father wasn't, but we were.
Wow. Tell us more about that.
Well, we used to plant a lot of peas and green beans, and my mother used to can it, and well, there was no freezers at the time, but she used to can it a lot, apricots, pears, apples, all kinds of things.
But that stopped because you couldn't harvest the orchards and the peas. So that freed you up. That's good news, bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the trucks that, it must have been very dusty, and did they go by your town? Did they go through your town, the trucks and everything that must have been carrying the men and
Where we live in El Rancho?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was. First, it was a 6x6s and the buses, GI buses, military. And it was always so dusty. My mother had to keep the doors closed because we're kind of close to the road. And the dust was always coming in.
Wow.
So finally, they got together and put a black top on it and no more dust.
Oh, they put the black top down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet. Stirring up that dust every day, all day, must have really been difficult to keep your cupboards clean.
Yeah.
How did you happen to get a job on the hill?
Well, we were familiar with Los Alamos already. We used to go shopping, the commissary, and shop for clothes and all that. And then once in a great while, we would go to the lodge and eat for lunch. Julie was a lot of fun to take care of. She was the best little girl, because I had a lot of brothers and sisters, and I compare, and she was an angel compared to them. They'd fight and jump and play and everything. Too much noise. She and I used to hike all the time. We used to go to the central cafeteria. We used to go to the West Mesa and eat lunch or breakfast. And then the lodge, we ate breakfast there a lot on Sundays.
Oh, wow. So did you work, were you babysitting 7 days a week, every day?
Yeah. And then I went to live with them, and I lived with them until
Oh, you went to live with them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that made it much easier
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Once in a while, she'd get up and say, "Frances, I'm scared to sleep alone." And she'd hop in the bed with me.
That's great. So, do you remember how old Julie was when you were babysitting for her?
Maybe 5 years old, huh?
At the end, yes, but at the beginning, I was much younger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3, 2?
No, I was under. I don't know where I was. I know I was under 2 when we got to Los Alamos. I was I think 18 months.
Wow. So you took care of her from the time she was 18 months old?
Mm-hmm.
She was just a little one.
Well, I went to work at the nursery school first.
Oh.
And then some of the parents would take the kids sick and with colds and runny nose. So her mother decided that she would take Julie out of school and let me take care of her full time. And
Oh,
I
that's
said, fine. And we used to have a lot of fun. We used to hike, we used to play. She had a lot of dishes and dolls in her room. Real pretty room.
It sounded like it worked marvelously. You just became part of the family.
Yes, I did. Once in a while, I'll bring Julie with me to my house, and
That's
the
wonderful.
kids would play with her. My brother still was there.
Boosty, your youngest brother, was
Yeah,
about my
your
age, as
age,
I
huh?
remember. Yes.
Oh, well, I used to bring her to the house, and she made him there. And, she made all the family had brothers, like little steps. But I was the oldest. And that's how she met him.
And did they get along well?
Yes, very well.
Even though your younger siblings were noisier and more unruly.
Yeah, they got along very
Isn't
well.
that fun? So, do you remember any moments that were either scary or where you maybe gotten? You say you took long hikes. Did you have?
Oh, yeah, we always went through the sidewalk, and then we used to go to the Oppenheimers right across in the Bathtub Row, and they would play a little while, and then I'd bring her home.
So did Julie play with Peter Oppenheimer?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I think of Peter all the time. He was a nice little boy. And then he disappeared and he never came back. Do you ever hear from him?
No, but I understand he lives near Santa Fe.
In Pecos, he lived in Pecos. I
Yeah.
went to look for him one time and I didn't find him.
Yeah.
So they were good pals, Peter.
Mhm.
And how about the baby, Tony? I guess she was too little.
She was still little. I didn't get to take care of her.
Do you remember her being born, and do you remember the birth of the Oppenheimer's little girl?
Oh, yeah. They used to live in Bathtub Row.
Mm-hmm. So what was their house like?
Real nice house. They had a wedding one time there for a nurse, and it was a beautiful wedding. I helped with the wedding.
Is that right?
Pick up things from the table and forks and all that.
And who was their babysitter? Do you remember their babysitter?
Let's see. She had an Indian lady from the San Francisco Pueblo, Isabel
Atencio.
Atencio. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And was she about your age?
Oh, no. She was older. Yeah, Isabel Atencio was niece to Maria the potter. Made beautiful black pottery.
Did the Oppenheimers have any of Maria's pottery?
Yes, they did. And Mrs. Hawkins did too.
How can you describe the Oppenheimers' house? Did they like collecting the pottery?
Yes, they did. They had great big things from Taos.
So, do you remember Kitty Oppenheimer?
Yes.
Can you tell us about her?
Well, when I used to go babysit Peter, I was never allowed to see him. Well, nobody told me not to see him, but I couldn't see him. But the mother was always in bed. She was always sick. So that's all I can say now.
Oh, that's too bad. But Peter seemed to be happy and
He was happy. He was a good eater.
good eater. Good.
Sometimes I'd make breakfast for he and Julie at her house.
And Peter would come to Julie's house? Huh? And have
He was
fun.
just across. They lived in Bathtub Row.
Julie lived in
No,
Bathtub or nearby?
Peter.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's great. How big was the Hawkins house? How big was Julie's house?
3-bedroom house.
3. So there was a room for you and a room for Julie. Perfect. And a room for her parents.
Just one time she got up one night and she went to my bed and she said, I'm scared of the ghosts. And I said, well, hopping with me in bed. So she did.
Oh, that's very
In the
cute.
morning, her mother went to her room and she wasn't there.
Oh, dear.
So she came in. When did she come in? And I told her, oh, it was midnight. She got scared. She was dreaming.
Oh, that's funny. Wow. That's great. I wonder what it was. Was there a storm that night? Anything?
I don't remember.
No. Yeah. Right.
But it used to snow a lot in the 40s.
Talk about your relationship with Julie's mom and dad. So what was your relationship with her mother?
It was very good. She was the nicest lady, and she taught me how to sew. We used to sew together. So what?
That's wonderful.
And then cooking, she'd say, you do the cooking. I want you to fix a Spanish dinner today. So I'd fix their dinner.
And you fixed them dinner in the Spanish style? Oh. And how did they like it?
They liked that very much.
That's great.
One time I invited them to my mother's house, and she had a big dinner too.
Great. And what did Mrs. Hawkins do during the day?
Well, she ran the nursery school. Is that right?
That's right.
And was she then?
She was the one that originated, the one that opened the nursery.
And how old were the children?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten. And did she go to the nursery school every day to work? Did she work at the nursery school every day?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was just you and Julie at home.
Yeah, once in a while I'll take her to play in the swings. We went out to lunch a lot too. To the cafeteria.
Yeah, you were out and about. And how about Julie's father? Did you, was he a nice man too?
Oh, very nice people. A+.
And maybe you can talk about how when Julie and her family left, what her dad did for you. in terms of getting a job?
Oh, I had jobs all over the place of people offering me jobs. But Mr. Hawkins got me, through him, I got this job at the technical area. So I went to, after they left, I started working there too. And I worked there for 45 years.
How many years?
35 years.
35 years. Wow. You must have been a great employee.
Until I retired.
Oh my goodness, that's marvelous.
And
So
then-
tell us about the kind of work you did. What were your jobs?
Before I do that, I'm going to tell that I went, Mrs. Hawkins used to suffer from her right back. So she went to stay with her mother in California, in San Francisco. And I went because I had to take care of Julie, so we went by train. And I hadn't told my folks anything that I had said yes to go on this trip. So I told them. They said, "Well, that's fine. You be with them. They're nice people. You go with them."
During that time, you lived in San Francisco together.
And no, I didn't leave. I just went to take her, and I came back on the train.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Bachman took me to the train. Your grandpa.
But you stayed a few days, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And coming back, this man would. I told Mr. Hawkins that this man was the best. I said he would leave me alone. He'd come and sit with me and ask me questions, and I knew better because I had gone to lectures already that I wasn't supposed to mention anything about Los Alamos. So, but he kept pestering me all the way, asking me, wondering. And then when we got to Albuquerque, I got off there, and the whack was waiting for me in Llamas, I think it was, Llamas. And a whack was waiting for me there. And he followed me there, and then the next day, I was walking to work, and I told him, I was walking with Mr. Hawkins, and I said, "Mr. Hawkins, that man followed me on the train all the way." "He did?" He said. "I think I know him." He was one of those.
FBI? He wanted to make sure you were behaving yourself properly.
Oh my goodness. They were tailing you.
That's what I thought right along, that he was an FBI, because I was used to it, because he used to come to El Rancho and clear people all the time.
Okay. And when you were on the train, did you have any idea that the man might be a spy, or what were you thinking? What did you think?
No, he was just watching me, taking care of me, I guess. Protecting me.
When you were there, was there much talk about spies and the need for security? And you said when you were on the train, you knew not to talk
Yeah.
to strangers. Tell us.
No, we never talked.
And that was something that you learned from being on the hill, that it was important to not talk about.
Yeah, we had lectures all the time, and we weren't supposed to discuss work at all outside.
And did that secrecy continue after the end of the war? That
I think it did, it did. I used to work a lot with secret after when I got this job inside the fence. With first they put me with unclassified material, and then little by little, confidential, secret, top secret. I worked with all those.
So you had security badge.
Yes.
Were there many other members of your family or friends who also started working after the war for the lab?
Oh yeah, I got my two sisters in at the lab, my brother. The three of them worked up there.
And did they work like you for their entire career?
Mm-hmm.
So when you think back on the experience of your family and yourself in your community, what do you think about the fact that the government chose Los Alamos to put its laboratory? Was that a good thing? Not so good?
I think it was good because people in our community got to get out of the house and work. Kids getting out of college, it was hard for them to get jobs before. So they went to teaching. My brothers went to teaching. But then after they got a job at Los Alamos, everybody left the teaching jobs.
Yeah. And what about today? Is there still a lot of people who work up at the laboratory from the valley?
Yeah, there is. A lot of them.
Okay.
That's all that the kids do nowadays, the younger kids. They go apply at Los Alamos, and they're still working. They applied and they're still working. Some of them are starting to retire now. Like my brothers, there, three of them retired.
And how about their children, or their children's children? Is there kind of still a number of people?
Let's see, my son worked for the lab and he retired, and she's a teacher.
It sounds like it had a positive effect for northern New Mexico, for your community.
It did. People started perking up and they started fixing the roads, and so people could go to work. But at first they came in, the first time they came to El Rancho, they was GI soldiers driving the trucks, 6x6s. The tarps, that's where they took us to work. And then they got promoted and they started using buses. So it was more pleasant there, and the ride then. But before the road was very bumpy.
I heard stories about how scary a ride it was, going over the bumps and the windy roads up there.
Yeah, the road used to go like this.
And how about the edge of the road? Was there a large shoulder, or did it drop off?
Yeah, it dropped off. Got killed.
People got killed? Yeah, it's dangerous.
Several.
Yeah. How about, do you remember the buses? Did you ever ride the buses yourself?
Well, they didn't allow the buses to come down at first, just the 6x6, the GA trucks. And then they started fixing the road a little bit so that the buses could drive through. We had buses then.
And what color were the buses?
Army color.
Army color. All of them army green.
Mm-hmm. Trucks and everything.
So how many buses do you suppose came every day?
Well, there's three communities. There's a Rancho, Oaxaca, and Nambe, and Cuyamugue, four buses.
One for each community,
Non-stop.
non-stop.
Because they were packed full, all of them.
All full.
Some were janitors, some were electricians, and all kinds of carpenters.
So did some of the people get trained as electricians, or?
No, they were already trained. They just left their jobs in Santa Fe and came to Los Alamos.
Great. So how many people were babysitters? Were there many people who found jobs like you did with a family?
Oh yeah, lots of girls and Indian girls from the Pueblo and from El Rancho, Jacona, Coyamagé, and Nape. And then from Hispaniola, there was a whole bunch in Santa Fe.
So there must have been learning both ways. So did you help, it sounded like the people on the hill learned about Indian pottery and learned about, Spanish pottery and the exchange of cultures, learned about Spanish cooking. So it was a nice exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So did you teach Julie Spanish?
Yes, I tried to. I think she knows a little bit.
I know I learned. It was all in there when I finally learned.
Isn't that fun? That's great. Wow. You had a remarkable career. Wow.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed taking care of her. I used to take her for walks. I used to take her to the movies. I used to take her to church. I asked Mrs. Hawkins, do you object if I take Julie to the Catholic church? She said, no. Why should I? So I started taking her to church. First I was the babysitter, then I met another, like Mrs. Oppenheimer. She was always in bed. So I used to work for her, cleaning house, and Mrs. Dodson and Mrs. McMillan. Your best friend,
Weisskopf?
Dow. The
Dows, yes,
Mhm.
the Dows.
And the Dows.
Dow was David was the general counsel
Huh.
of Los Alamos during the war. But she had a lot of interesting experiences after the war too with her jobs.
And then, I left, let's see, those jobs taking the houses, and let's see, where did I go from there? I went to the lab, and that's where I started going to school. Yeah, for the lab, first I went to work, let's see, in the mailroom. They used to have a small little post office, and all the A's went in one box, the B's in another, and every time somebody came for mail, we'd take all the A's and look for Anderson and Anton or whatever. And the B's, that was my first job after I left babysitting. And okay, let's see, from there, I worked for Mrs. McMillan, for Miss Oppenheimer, cleaning houses after this. That's what I did. And
Do you remember Mrs. McMillan?
Yes,
What was she like?
very nice lady, very sweet. Did you know her?
No, I want to know about her.
Oh, and Ed McMillan, that was her husband.
Uh-huh.
And then I worked for Mrs. Dodson, her doing the same thing. She was the one I went to this house, and she said, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is iron for me. Do you know how to iron? And I said, oh, yeah, I iron. So then she put me in this apparatus that I had never seen before, and I didn't know how to operate it. It was a mangle, and I had never ironed with a mangle, just with an iron. That's what she put me. Well, she taught me how to do it, so I learned right away, and it was so easy to iron the men's shirts, the sleeves, and it was nice. And
What was their house like? What was the McMillan's house like?
the McMillans house. It was very nice. It was a great big house. The first week that I went to work for her, she gave a reception for a nurse from the hospital in Los Alamos, and she had the wedding there, and I helped her serve and everything. She made me dress real nice, and I helped serve in that wedding.
So did she entertain inside the house or on the lawn?
Yeah,
inside the house.
on
So
the sitting down wedding. Very nice. She had a great big living room.
and what was the kitchen like?
The kitchen, let's see if I remember the kitchen. Yeah, I remember the kitchen being long like this. And the house was pretty close to here.
And where was it, near the Oppenheimers house?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right next door?
Mm-hmm. It was. And then R.C. Smith was further on down, and all the big wheels were in both rows.
So did you know everyone who lived on Bathtub Row in those
I think so, uh-huh.
So was it a nice community?
Very nice. Very, very nice. I stayed there and took care of Ann McMillan, and then when they went to parties or dinner, and I wasn't scared. But I always locked my doors.
Did you ever help out at some of the bigger parties?
Yes, I sure did.
So what were they like? Tell us.
Mrs. Dodson. And most of the men wasn't, they weren't rowdy or anything. They was very nice, quiet parties, wedding.
So did the men talk together and the women talk together?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what people ate or drank?
I don't know what they drank, but I know what they ate. A turkey dinner, and the trimmings with it. That's what they.
Great. So then after the end of the war, Mr. Hawkins got you started at a job at the tech area, and you were talking about you were sorting mail.
Mm-hmm.
And then what other kinds of things did you do?
At first, they had mailboxes, all the A's and all the B's. So you had to take all the letters out and look. And sometimes the GIs would come and even cry because they didn't get letters. I felt so sorry for them. They were so young.
How did the mail come once a day?
Once a day. Mm-hmm. They brought it from Santa Fe. There was no post office here.
So after the mailroom, what's another job you had?
Okay, from the mail room, I went upstairs and to the post office and sorted mail. It was mostly classified mail that I was sorting. So I worked there for a long time. And then...
So you read the classified mail?
I never read it.
You didn't read it, no. You just sorted it.
Sorted.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Did like these letters go to Oppenheimer, these go to somebody else.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Was there a lot of mail? A lot of classified
Oh,
mail?
a lot of it.
And where did it come from?
From Santa Fe.
From Santa Fe, but did you notice was this mail coming from Washington, D.C. or Chicago, or could you tell where it was coming from?
No, we didn't have time for that.
I didn't have
Sure,
time.
we could, I was very fast, and even if I have to say so, it was very fast to sort mail.
A lot of mail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then later on, we could open the mail and staple in the corner and route them to the different, well, mostly it was the group leader. Pat McKenna was the good leader.
And then after you're working on that, what did you do?
After that, they put me in the classified section.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't get out from there very much. I had to be with my classmate mail.
And then you had one job that took you all over New Mexico. What was that? You had to travel?
To Albuquerque and to, let's see, where else? Well, I used to go a lot to Santa Fe. Dorothy McKibbin was in charge of the 109 East Palace Avenue. That's where I used to go all the time, once a day, to deliver some mail. And this man that your mother used to know very well, I can't remember what his name was, but he was a mail and postmaster, whatever he was. And I used to go to Dorothy McKibbin's office a lot, deliver mail.
So what was Dorothy like?
Very nice lady, the nicest lady. Very, very nice.
How did people, what did she do for people? What was her job? What was her job?
One of my jobs just to go take classified mail. And this man used to drive me. I had a chauffeur. She started inviting me to her house to...
Really? She invited you, and what did you do there? What was that like?
She would cook dinner, and she says, today I'm going to cook dinner, but tomorrow you're going to fix a Spanish dinner for me. And she made me make tortillas and chili. She wanted chili.
Oh, that's fun. Now, do you remember her, was her son living with her?
Mm-hmm. Kevin McKibbin. Yeah.
So was he as good as Julie?
He was very, very nice. And for Fiestas, Dorothy McKibbin used to ask me to come and help her. Let's see, the first day she asked me to make her tortillas and a snack like that because it was going to be Fiestas.
Huh?
And we cooked beans and we made chili. And tamales she bought them herself. But it was for Fiestas.
So what did you do on the Fiestas? Was that
Well, I didn't go. I stayed with her in the house. She had a lot of a great big table, not big table, remember? And
so Dorothy McKibbin would entertain a lot of people?
mm-hmm, for Fiestas.
And who came to her Fiestas? Were they mainly people from Los Alamos, or?
I suppose so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really. I was too busy in the kitchen doing things.
So do you remember going to La Fonda?
Yes, a lot.
So
I
tell us.
babysat at Fonda. When there was it was Fiestas. They would have a party there. They would come from Los Alamos, and they had a party at La Fonda, and I'd take care of Julie and Edith, the Dow kids. With Mr. Dow.
Yes.
So everybody came, children and adults, and yeah. Right. Sounds like fun. Let's see. So more stories of work.
Well, I do remember her telling me about her travels around New Mexico with her job.
At the end of your career, you were working for lawyers at the laboratory.
Oh, yeah, we got to travel a lot. Yeah, the lawyers were working here at Los Alamos, and I was working with them. And then they decided to not come from Albuquerque, that I should go out there instead. So I used to work with all the lawyers and just not doing any type of anything, just sealing envelopes and taking them to different offices in that building. Yeah, I remember that now.
And this building was in Albuquerque?
Mm-hmm. It was a big post office, and in that post office there's a great big office, and that's where I used to work.
And you were responsible for helping them with some classified documents, is that right? You want to tell us about
There
that?
was a lot of lawyers there. They were from Arizona and from here, from New Mexico. From New Mexico, and I did, well, those lawyers from Arizona I worked with, they would let me open their letters and staple them in the corner and give them to them, take the letters to them. That's what I did.
Well, you must have been very good at what you did.
I
They must have
enjoyed my
trusted
job.
you.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say highly trusted.
Yes. You must have been very highly trusted.
I guess I was. I had a high clearance.
And you're not going to tell us anymore now, right?
I never read anything.
When did you and your community find out that they were taking over Los Alamos? How did you find that out?
I guess they sent them letters. I remember Father getting letters, and he left all his tools. They didn't let him take anything. I felt good because I didn't have to come work over here.
That's good.
It was fun though. It was very clean air and real nice. But I felt very happy when they sold the farm. Acres and acres and hundreds.
So did you,
Sometimes I tell my kids, and they, yeah, could you stand that?
But how did your parents feel and your grandparents? Did they feel the same way? Or were they?
Well, in a way, I think my father was, because it was my grandmother's farm, my mother's mother. It was her farm. And after that, my uncle, that was the last time we planned when they took over. So we never,
did you get any money when the government took over the farm?
yeah, the government didn't pay very much for the land. That's what I used to hear them talking.
I guess I just have one more question, which is, how long has your family been in New Mexico for?
All their life, all
Okay.
their life.
And how about generations? Can you say when the first of your family came here?
Well, I don't know, but that was my mother's mother ranch, and my father used to take care of it. So I didn't know her grandparents, my mother's grandparents. So
Frances, one time you told my mother that your family had been there since the Spanish came, originally in...
yeah,
Did your family come with the Spanish people from Spain?
the Gomez people did. I don't know yet the Montoya side, but that's my mother. I don't know about her.
Well, I was just wondering if you wanted to share with them that our family, the Gomez's, still have the document that President Lincoln signed about the property that you have.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the Gomez have, well, I don't know who has it now. Maybe
Somebody
Bell.
in our family.
A document in all the Rancho was documented under the Gomez family at one time. And then as they got married and all that, and they forgot, I guess. Oh yeah. A lot of people from here, the Hawkins and McMillans, Dodsons, and White Scouts would every Friday evening, they would go eat supper at Mrs. Warner's. So they introduced, well, I used to know Mrs. Warner already because she had she lived just across the bridge from in Pottery. And she had her house to the left side. It still stands there. And yeah.
And every Friday evening, these families would.
Yeah, every Friday evening they would she would fix us dinner, and all the people from Los Alamos would, not all, but her friends would come and eat dinner, and she would ask me to come and help her. So I would come and help her set the table and the food and help with everything. And then she moved across the river that way to the south. And she also used to ask me to come and help her bake cakes.
What kind of cakes?
Chocolate cake was her favorite.
Was it good?
You know that I used to hate cakes.
Oh dear.
Unlike her sister.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I'm allergic to eggs, and it would give me a reaction.
Oh goodness.
I would taste them, yes. They were good.
How about the company? Did they like the chocolate cake?
Oh, yeah. That was her favorite.
So do you remember Tilano?
Oh, yes, very well.
Can you tell me about him?
Well, he never did talk, though. He just sat there and listened. But he used to take care of wood for the stoves that she had fire, and all the chores that a man does. That's what he used to do. He was from the tribe of San Alfonso.
Where was Edith Warner buried?
Oh, on the back of her house.
What was Edith Warner like?
Oh, she was a real nice lady. She wore a lot of bracelets and big cocha bells, a lot of red.
And she basically lived by herself.
Yeah.
And Tilano, was her helpmate. But she clearly liked to entertain.
She really did. All the people from Los Alamos used to go there. She was always booked.
Did she sit down with the guests?
No. She was always on the go,
Right.
going around the table, see what they did.
Well, that's a great memory. Yeah. So,
She had a lot of jewelry. Oh, gosh, a big box like this.
goodness.
The conchas, the bracelets, the rings.
Wow. Did she grow her own vegetables?
Yes, she grew everything.
And had chickens for the eggs?
Yeah, she had chickens.
Wow. Farm to table, as they say. Yeah, very fresh food. Yeah, it's great.
Do you want to mention those ladies' names that went with you to Los Alamos? Or do you?
Oh. Okay. Yeah, when we first, okay, yeah, I went to Okay, my name is here, Frances Gomez. Okay, then Pat Martinez, Angelita Martinez, Angelita Atencio, Esther Valencia, Teresa Valencia, Betty Barros, Lupe Barros, Trini Roybal, Fulgencia Roybal, Luardita Gomez, Fabiola Gomez, Veronica Roybal, Isabel Atencio, Virginia Gonzalez, and Annie Serna. Those were the ones that used to come on the bus with me to Los Alamos. They were all placed in different houses to work, to clean the houses.
So all of these women were friends of yours?
Yeah, we were all went to school together. Yeah, all of them went to school there. Except the Barros girls, they went to the San Alfonso Pueblo. And Angelita Atencio and Pat Martinez. They were Indian girls.